Smoke to the COINTELPRO boxing fan. I hope you all can hear me. There we go. Peace, family. I hope you all can hear me. I'm not going to be long. It's going to be about 10 minutes. I just watched the interview with Mauricio Suleiman responding to Terrence Crawford. Say this. The WBC is full of crap. Suleiman, you're full of crap. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you're talking to? Trying to make it seem like the fighters need you all more than you need the fighters. You sit up there and you claim that all of this money is going to the foundation. All of this money is being used to help fighters. But we got Pernell Whitaker dying broke. We got fighters going to war with their families over real estate because they can't pay for their medical expenses. People who have moved the sport forward. But now you sit up here trying to make it seem some moral issue. Now, let me show you the hypocrisy in what Suleiman is saying and what he's trying to make it seem that it must be you don't want to follow the rules. So since you don't want to follow, because this is what Suleiman said. He said it's not a money issue. It's an issue that you don't want to follow the rules. And then he had the nerve to use Ryan Garcia as an example. He had the nerve to say, hey man, listen, after Ryan Garcia went on his rant, we suspended him. We suspended Ryan Garcia. And when Ryan Garcia did what he was supposed to, now he gets a shot at a world title. Every fighter should drop the WBC belt. I don't care how good you all feel. You all want to relive the days of Ali holding the green belt. You all want to relive the days. Look at this fool. You all want to relive the days of Ray Leonard holding the green belt. Family, those days are over. Mauricio Suleiman and the WBC are full of shit. At this point, you got to call a spade a spade. This is the same man. Salute to Shaquilla Fields. This is the same man who said and defended a criminal syndicate who had their hand in the sport of boxing and said, I'm only going to defend him for what he's done in the sport of boxing. But you sit up there. You sit up there and say you give a damn about fighters' well-being. You are a liar and you are a hypocrite, family. Now, all of you who are in the sport of boxing, who have made time to drag our fighters, our top fighters who have kept the sport going. Dude, will you shut up? You always drag Devin Haney. You drag Clarissa Shields. You drag all of these people who are paying your bills, who are giving you content to talk about. But you all are silent. You have nothing to say about what Suleiman is doing right now in the WBC. So then he says, and I'm glad the interview asked this question. He said, well, Suleiman, you know, Chris Eubank called you all out as well for these sanctioned defeats. It's just not an American fighter thing. You all have been called out coast to coast, overseas. And then he says, well, 75% is going to this fund to help boxers. Is that right? How many boxers have we seen get on YouTube, do these interviews, and they look horrible? Who's taking care of them, family? If you care so much, Suleiman, WBC, let me make it plain. WBC, World Boxing Council, if you care so much about the moral and integrity outlook on the sport of boxing, how come after a fighter gets popped hot with performance-enhancing drugs, goes on a racist rant, he hasn't even finished his probationary period, and you all got him as a commentator at your events? But you want to tell me you give a damn about the way it outlooks on the moral clauses of the sport. Man, you are a liar and you are a hypocrite. And if you black American fighters, if you Mexican American fighters don't wake up and see what the hell is going on. See, now I see clearly what's going on. When Mauricio Suleiman started talking about, well, the rest of the fees, if you all just pay attention, he said, well, the rest of the fees have to come back to Mexico City. All right, now we're getting down to it. When Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. gets caught at the border, and it's world news that he has ties to a certain organization, Suleiman, hey, WBC, how come y'all ain't got nothing to say about it? Is it maybe that some of that money, some of that money that's going back to Mexico City is also going to some of those organizations? Wake up, family. They're playing in our faces on the backs. You could never do this in any other sport in this country. And you all are acting like you don't know what's going on. Let me say it again to make it plain. Listen, family. There are people getting caught up. There are people who are popping hot, who don't even get a slap on the wrist. Nothing is said. Nothing is even done. Nothing was done to Munguia. Nothing has been done to Matias. He's actually getting to fight. Suleiman says Bud Crawford needs to apologize. Is that right? He said he didn't even apologize for him his behavior. Well, what does Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. need to do? What does Chavez Jr. need to do when it comes to find out that he is tied to a human trafficking organization? What about that, Suleiman? Fuck that belt. Tell the WBC we don't need them. Imagine this, family. Imagine this for a second. Salute Enoch Bird in the house. You said you just listened to the replay of your early morning video. Salute. Salute Joseph Townsend. I got to call a spade a spade. And I'm going to wrap this up before the general go live. But let me say this to y'all. Every single one of you self-hating Negroes in these YouTube spaces who have had smoke for snack, who have had smoke for our fighters right here in America, you are a coward and you are spineless. You are a gutless man and you are lower than the bottom of the scum of the black community. Because you all don't even have the cojones to call this out. You had all this smoke. Huh? Thank you, Joseph Townsend. You had all of this smoke for other black fighters old enough to be their fathers. Some of you old enough to be their grandfathers, but you ain't got no smoke. You ain't got no smoke for old Mauricio Suleiman, huh? For the WBC. Now he said something else. He said, well, listen. We care about fighter safety. We care so much about the fighters having some money and taking care of their medical expenses and such. Okay, family. If that's the case, now watch this. WBC, if you care so much about this, then why are you raising the amount of Osterin and clenbuterol a fighter can have so they can pass a test legally endorsing microdosing? If you care so much about the fighters and their well-being, and this ain't just a black American fighters, every fighter that laces up his gloves in the sport should give a damn about this. But see, let me tell you what's happening. Some of you Mexican fighters think that it ain't gonna affect you. Look how they've been doing David Benavidez. Now we know that David Benavidez is a Mexican American fighter. His ties to Mexico City is not as close as Canelo Alvarez. Does anybody notice there's some type of bias going on over there? Eddie Reynoso's camp can get caught up. All of these cheaters can get caught up. And the WBC does not hit them with the same amount of vitriol. But let anybody else get pop hot. They on their ass. This is a clear call to action in the sport of boxing. And any of these YouTube content creators, hey, Showbiz, I need you to talk about this. All of you who watch me, when the big channels go live, get in their chats and say, hey, y'all, this is a call to action. We need to say something about what the WBC is doing. Because this ain't just about Terrence Crawford. They're letting it be known that we gonna move how we want to move. Imagine the American talent feeding the luxury lifestyle of those in Mexico that are telling us, hey, we're gonna be okay with fighters being able to microdose and cheat. Huh? Joseph Townsend says that's equivalent to the NFL caring about player safety and CTE, but wants to have 18-game season. Thank you, family. Thank you, family. What the hell is going on? And people are too damn quiet. This is why, Bud Crawford, you don't need to walk out to Desperado. Look, damn it. We need to stand up for us right now. Because right now, Terrence Crawford, you was already public enemy number one, brother. They didn't care nothing about you paying homage to their culture. They didn't care nothing about you coming out to Desperado. They didn't care about you going on a press tour saying, hey, man, we just want to let it be known that I care about the Mexican people as well. Brother, you gonna have to carry the same weight that Ali carried. You're gonna have to carry the same weight and hate that Joe Louis carried. You don't get to skip it. They play in our faces. See, some of you, one of the most dangerous things that's being told, I heard a brother preaching on Facebook and he said, yeah, man, if we just keep our head low, get on the train and put our headphones in and mind our business, life is easy for the black man. It'll be easy for you. That's one of the most dangerous things you can tell a young black man or woman walking around. Tell them that if you just mind your business, ain't no danger. I would never, listen to me, anybody that served before in the armed forces, and you know what that weekend safety brief is like, especially if you were anywhere around one of those hick towns. If you were stationed on Fort Leonard Wood, if you were stationed on Fort Benning in Columbus, Georgia, you know what those safety briefings were like. And check it out, family. Watch this. A lot of times, those safety briefings were given by an old white colonel, old white sergeant major, and they kept it real. They kept it real with you. Let you know, listen, to my black soldiers going off post, these are the places you need to stay away from. They didn't tell you, hey man, if you just mind your business, you're going to be all right. What does this have to do with boxing, coach? Some of y'all think that if you just keep your head down, if you just repeat these Max Kellerman, COINTELPRO, Agent of Chaos narratives and propaganda, that you just gonna be okay, that you just gonna be fine. That's a damn lie. Look how they doing Bud Crawford, and he ain't do nothing wrong. Watch this. Now, some might say, well, coach, no, wait a minute, coach. This is just a business thing. This is just and Joseph Townsend, let me know when I'm running out of time before the general go live. Joseph Townsend says, how you going to mind your business when the wood is invasive and nosy? Talk about mind your business. What's the young brother name? Aubrey? Aubrey Graham was minding his business, running in the neighborhood, and was hunted down like a deer and shot down. He was minding his business. Kendrick Johnson in Valdosta, Georgia, was minding his business. I would never give a safety brief to my soldiers and tell them, hey, y'all, as long as you go out post and mind your business, you're going to be all right. You're going to be just fine. So some of you maybe have seen me get into it with my own when I tell them, brothers, some of y'all, we ain't got nothing to talk about. We ain't got nothing to say. Because you're double-minded and double-tongued. You're screaming, hey, brother, hey, sister, and then you over there praising a racist like Teofimo, a racist like Ryan Garcia. Now, listen, I don't give a damn for some of you twinkle-toed, sensitive people who always get shaken in your boots when somebody brings up what's going on. Look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Hey, bye, bitch. I don't care if you leaving. Only a hoe announces when they leave. Talking about you're toxic, so goodbye. Let me tell you what's toxic, family. Since the troll want to get my attention, let me tell you what's toxic. What's toxic is when you raise the amount of clenbuterol and Osterin in fighters, giving them permission to microdosing, and a fighter loses his motherfucking life. That's what's toxic. What's toxic is when a fighter spends their whole life, joins the armed forces just to join the U.S. Army boxing team, and because of cheating and corruption, they cancel the whole program. That's toxic. Let me tell you what toxic is. A toxic is when Brian Norman Jr. goes over to the West Coast, and they're calling him nigger and throwing bottles at him. And he represents boxing. It represents your belt. That's what's toxic. What's toxic is when you don't catch a fighter and his gloves are loaded and he gets beat and he's never the same again in his life. You hoe-ass, bitch-ass, spineless, cowardly hypocrite. Don't come and tell me and talk to me about what's toxic. Hoe-ass nigga, self-hating nigga, racist white pieces of shit. You hateful Mexicans who can't see they hate you just like they hate us. Don't talk to me about what's toxic. But we too busy self-hating amongst each other. If you a spineless, hoe-ass individual, this is a channel for the truth. Now, I ain't at 500 yet, but right now I got 475 people who want to hear the truth. This is not no popularity party. This is not no bad girls club channel. This is not if this is your favorite fighter, come over here type of channel. We're going to call it like it is. And I'm going to make it plain and straight. I already know I probably ain't going to get wealthy off no YouTube check. I probably know that I'm not going to get no calls from any sanctioning bodies inviting me to no press conferences. I already know what I'm doing is against their status quo. But if we don't call it out for what it is, more fighters are about to die. If we don't call it for what it is. Like Tupac said, you ain't ever had a friend like me. Now let a lot of us just watched that Diddy documentary, right? And before, a lot of us, we said, hey man, we're not gonna tear another brother down. But after seeing that, this is what I realized. One of the most dangerous things is a wannabe that gets power and money. Because the more money they get, they start forgetting that they really ain't putting no work in. They start forgetting that you really wasn't a soldier in the field. Imagine somebody that got in a fight in their life trying to tell somebody who is battle tested. I say he's battle tested. Something about fighting. Who are you to apologize to? Suleiman, who the hell you think you are? Now, you say, well, listen, it's about the rules. And when Crawford is ready to follow the rules, he can come on back and represent the WBC. Well, check this out. How come, Suleiman, you say that's cap? Well, let me tell you what ain't cap. Let me tell you what ain't cap. What ain't cap is Canelo. See, anything you trolls try to come today, it ain't just about extortion. My bad, family. I get what you're saying. It is cap what Suleiman is saying. It is cap what he's saying. Because if that was the fact, it ain't just about extortion. Suleiman is also butthurt. He is butthurt because he had to sit there and bear witness to Crawford beating his man. Now, Suleiman, let me play devil's advocate right quick. Because I already know some of you spineless Negroes are going to do it. You're going to say, now, hold on, y'all. This is about business. If he didn't pay the fees, the belt should be stripped. If he's not going to follow the rules, he should be kicked out. All right, cool. Now, how come Canelo didn't have to follow the rules? How come when it was time for Canelo to fight some of his mandatories, you made a franchise position? I ain't even gonna talk about a belt. You made a position and said out of your mouth, WBC, that because Canelo pushes the sport forward, he can move how he wants. This is what you said, Suleiman. This is what you said. Now, if that's the case, family, then how come Crawford doesn't get the same grace and doesn't get that same position when he beats the man that you said deserves that position for moving the sport forward? Because you are a hypocrite and you are a liar. Not only are you extorting people, you are also putting people in danger. The closer the fighter is to Mexico City, the more grace he gets. The further he is, whether demographic wise or also just land wise, you all don't have the same push behind them. You can see it every time David Benavidez does an interview. Every single time he does one, look how they treating David. He ain't getting the same push. He's a beast. Family, do you all not realize that as big as David Benavidez is and what his skill set, if they pushed him right, he could be the first Mexican undisputed champion. He could be the first heavyweight Mexican undisputed champion if they just moved him right. But they're not going to do it. Why is that? Is David Benavidez not close enough to Mexico City? Now, see, some of y'all going to say, nah, coach, that ain't the case. Look how they moved Canelo. Look how they was moving Canelo and putting him in position to get some of those belts. Fighting the right style. Not taking nothing away from him. So look, if you are a content creator, huh? If now see, it ain't just because David Benavidez lets it be known, I am a Mexican American. He lets it be known. But he ain't as close to Mexico City as Canelo is. Listen to me, brown man. Listen to me, some of you racist brown people. They coming for y'all too. Yeah, they coming for you too. Don't come to me and tell me, nah, coach, it ain't that serious. Let me tell you, family, you know what you gonna get over here. If you come over here, we gonna call it like it is. I wasn't even gonna do this, family. You got to remember, those of you who've been rocking with me from the beginning, when you first heard me on my brother Champ's side, when you heard me on the general, when they kept telling me, man, coach, you need to make a channel, I kept saying, no, I ain't gonna do it. My brother Drew Titan is the reason why I have a channel. Because you know what Drew said? He said, coach, this ain't even about what you want to do. He said, this ain't even about what you want to do. God done blessed you to say the truth. Now get to work. I said, damn. And now that I started, everything been rolling. Everything's coming into place. Family, if they in the box of spaces and they not talking about this, you know where they stand. And you know who and what they are. Family, if you texting me, I can't see it right now because, salute to Eric Jordan for the Cash App. Salute to you, fam. We got to call a spade a spade. So now I'm here. And guess what? I got some good news for you. It's bad news for the COINTELPRO Boxer fan, but I got some good news for the family. Family, guess what? I ain't looking for no press pass. Thank you, Black Jericho. Your silence means that you are complicit in what's going on. Your silence means that you are complicit in what's going on. So if you ain't got nothing to say about the way the WBC is moving, they stripped Terrence Crawford and said, hey, man, microdosing is okay now. Huh? Hold on. Hold up, family. Wait a minute. A light bulb is coming on. Has anybody seen Ryan Garcia on TikTok? I want y'all to go look at Ryan. I want y'all to go listen to his voice and how it's just changed again since May. What's up with that, family? What's up with that? Huh? Something ain't right. He back on that stuff. He has a fight against Mario Barrios in February. It's December. The WBC just basically made microdosing okay. They playing in y'all face and y'all too quiet. They playing in y'all face and y'all are too quiet. So I'm going to say it like this, family, because you know where I stand with it. If don't nobody else say it, I'm going to say it. The WBC, since 1963, built their organization off the backs of great American fighters, Panamanian fighters, later on, some Mexican champions, and they owe the sport of boxing to be fair and equal across the board. Now, none of us will mind. See, here's the problem with that favoritism crap. None of us will mind this if he had the same energy across the board, and he doesn't. Hell, it seemed like Ryan Garcia been getting rewarded ever since he did what he did. Black Jericho says he definitely back on that stuff, and the WBC basically gave him his steroid league he asked for. on that juice again. They're creating a so-called Mexican greatness, which is all manufactured illegally. Suleiman, I'm sorry. That interview he did, he showed more of his hypocrisy. How dare we? And I don't care what your color is, what race you claiming. If you love the sport of boxing, know that your favorite fighter is in danger now. Your favorite fighter is in danger of losing his life even more now in the boxing ring because of the move that the WBC just made. Every black fighter in America, because of the way they're dealing with Terrence Crawford, should say we don't want the WBC belt. Thank you, Mook _ Sonny Liston was the first WBC champion. But look how they treating us. Now Eddie Hearn saying shit about Bud. Now Oscar got something to say about Bud. Are y'all gonna let it happen? Y'all gonna put up with this? See, I'm already gonna be on the right side of history. You see how when Devin Haney beat Norman Jr., all these dudes that were acting like they wasn't socially lynching the Haneys for almost 2 years straight, now they want to be on the right side. Nope. Keep your spineless ass over there. How dare we let this happen on our watch? Y'all want to say you love Ali? Show me you love him. The truth can only be hidden for so long. Keep spreading the truth, coach. They can run, but they can't hide. Oh, don't worry. I smell something foul in the sport of boxing. And the truth is going to expel it. Spineless men. I tell you what, family. I told you I wasn't going to go live today, but I had to get this off my chest. I want you all, if you don't do nothing else, everywhere you go, I don't want you to spam the chats, but if there's a boxing conversation and don't nobody say nothing about what we gonna do dealing with the WBC, you better say something. Because let me tell you something. If we had an organization and treated Canelo like that, man, they will be on our ass. Pause. We have to, integrity, insanity is to repeat the same action over and over again, expecting a different result. That's insanity. We can't keep going through this and don't say nothing. Dark Kent said, Coach Hudson, who you got this weekend? Roach versus Pitbull. I got Roach and Foster versus Fortin. I'm going with Foster. Family, I just want y'all to think. You ain't got to agree. Just think on what I said. Salute to everybody that dropped by. The General's going live soon. Peace to the family. Peace to my comrades. And it's always smoke to you COINTELPRO boxing fan and you evil racists in these sanctioning bodies. Your time is almost up. Peace.